In a world that glorifies constant hustle, God commanded us in Exodus 20 to remember the Sabbath, to keep it holy. And here's the beautiful truth. This gift of rest wasn't just for ancient Israel, but for every single one of us, because the Sabbath was made for man, a divine invitation to step away from our striving and find true renewal in Him. Hey there, my friend. This is the Mr. Productivity Podcast. I am your host, Mr. Productivity. And before we jump into the episode today, I want to invite you to head on over to my website, mrproductivity.com. And I want you to sign up for my free 10-question productivity scorecard. These 10 questions will give you insight into how you are really doing at being productive. It's real simple and it's 100% free. Just head on over to my website, mrproductivity.com, M-I-S-T-E-R, mrproductivity.com. Now, before I go any further in this episode, you need to understand this is not a Christian or a religious episode. It's about rest. So you could be a Christian, you could be an atheist, you could be an agnostic, you could be any other religion in the world, and this podcast episode will serve you. But let me read you the actual text from the English Standard Version of the Bible. Exodus 20, verses 8 through 11. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. But the seventh day is a Sabbath day to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, you, your son or your daughter, your male servant or your female servant, or your livestock, or the sojourner who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath and made it holy. I recently began to observe the Sabbath. I've been a believer for many years, but I've always, was too busy to observe the Sabbath. Well, I've been doing it for several weeks now, and I can tell you it has made a huge difference. I don't do any work. So around 5 o'clock on Saturday, I shut down my MacBook, I put it in my office, and I don't turn it on again until Monday morning. I don't do any work on my Mr. Productivity business, and I do very little chores on Sunday, and they're usually the ones that have to be done on Sunday, or confession here, I forgot to do them on Saturday. So what do I do on the Sabbath? It's all about rest, that 4-letter word that is so powerful to your productivity. I spend a great deal of time hanging out with my wife. We often go out in the backyard with our pups and read our books or just talk. We attend church, watch some television, and we just relax. We don't stress about what we're going to do. We just enjoy the rest. It's really important in our culture today where we're always go, 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 go. I always have to be doing something. No, one of the ultimate hacks of being productive is taking time off. And regardless of what your religious beliefs are, you would benefit from taking an entire day off. Now, on my Sabbath, which is Sunday, now some people do it on Saturday, I do it on Sunday, I don't go on social media at all. I will check my text messages. I do use an app called Snapchat, but only to snap my friends. I'm not looking at any of the feed stuff on there. And as I mentioned before, I do very minimal chores. It's a day of rest. But what could you do? What are some of the other options you could do on the Sabbath besides hanging out with your family, attending your local service, reading, watching television? How about taking a peaceful, slow, meandering walk, preferably in nature? Go to your local park. Maybe you take time to journal and reflect on the week that just was. What went right? What went not so good? What do you need to improve on? What did you do last week that you don't want to do this week? And what are some things you really want to get done this week? Maybe you, with your family or your neighbors or your friends, play a board game, do a puzzle, have some light-hearted fun. Maybe if you're going to watch the ball game, have some people over and keep the work at a minimum. Maybe you listen to worship music, or maybe you listen to a teaching from your pastor, your imam, your rabbi that would edify you and feed your soul. Maybe you can serve someone quietly. What does this mean? Maybe just get on a FaceTime with someone, or get on a Zoom call, or call them and just say, hey, I'm just checking in on you. What's going on? You feeling all right? Anything I could do for you? If you're a praying type of person, maybe you start praying for people on the Sabbath if you don't usually do it. Now, there are a lot of benefits to a day of rest, what I call the Sabbath. Let's divide these into mental and physical. So mentally, it lowers your stress because at the end of the day on Saturday, you say, you know what? I'm not going to work on Sunday. And you just put a pin in it. You close the door, you lock the door, and you understand that for 24 hours, you are just going to enjoy time from doing no work. And that's going to lower your stress. It's going to reduce your anxiety. So instead of worrying about, oh, it's Saturday, I have to do all these things on Sunday before Monday comes, well, do them on Saturday and enjoy the day of rest on Sunday. So you enter Monday relaxed, less stressed, less anxious. And then you're going to, of course, experience better overall well-being. The day of rest is powerful. Now, a recent 2025 study found that people who took a regular weekly rest day sleep better, feel less fatigued during the week, and report overall improvements in mental well-being. It's like a neurological reset that guards against burnout. Who wouldn't want that? Now, physically, you're obviously going to feel better physically because you're not working. You're actually giving your body a chance to rest. You are going to improve your sleep. And there is some anecdotal research that says that if you do take regular rest days, it may allow you to live longer. Now, I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I don't play one on this podcast. But if someone tells me by taking one day off a week to rest, I could live longer, I'm going to try it because it's free. Now, if you have to work on Sunday, maybe your Sabbath is on a Saturday, or maybe you have to do it on a Wednesday, or maybe on a Thursday. But aim to take one day off a week. You and your entire family. Make it a thing. I promise you, it will serve you well. So again, don't make this all about the religious aspect of it. Make it about you and resting. Because as a productivity expert, I am Mr. Productivity. After all, I can tell you, happy and healthy people tend to be more productive people. Healthy people get lots of rest. Not only do they sleep well at night, but they take a day off during the week. Now, you may be going through a time right now that it's really busy. You can't take a day off. I encourage you that you need the rest day more than most other people. So please, I'm asking you with total sincerity of my heart, please give serious thought of picking a day every week and taking the entire day off and doing as little as possible. I certainly hope this episode served you. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to this podcast on whatever podcast app you're listening to this on. I really appreciate your time and attention. Don't forget to take the free 10-question productivity scorecard at my website, MrProductivity.com. See you soon.